had a lot going on. I had to work some extra hours at work. I had to evacuate because of Hurricane Barry, and I had to work some extra longer hours on my Etsy shop to catch up with my orders. So whenever I get this busy, it usually means that I can't do my normal weekly budget that I do every single week in my planner, which means I had to change my entire system, and I wanted to share with you how to automate your finances if you hate budgeting. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 3-step process that you can complete so that you never have to budget. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and organizing money. If that interests you, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, as I would love for you to be a part of our little family. So step number 1, the first thing that you need to do is add up all of your expenses and see how much money you need for the month. You can easily do this by pulling out your calendar and writing down when a bill is due and the amount of that particular bill. After you've written down all of your bills, you need to add them all up and see how much you need for the entire month. This will help you because it will give you an idea of how much money you need in a particular account in order to live your life. Step number 2 is to set up 4 accounts. The first account is your personal spending account. Your second account will be your bill account. Your third account will be short-term savings or sinking funds, and your fourth is long-term savings. So once you have these 4 accounts, now your money has a set place to go whenever you get paid. So my spending account is for any discretionary spending. This one I use for groceries, I use it for personal care or clothing or anything that is not a bill. I will only use this one card that is set aside specifically for spending that is not dedicated to a monthly expense. So the second account is the bill account, and that is pretty self-explanatory, but is where we pay all of our bills. Anything that needs to be automated will come directly out of this account. So the third account is short-term savings or sinking funds. This account is set aside for expenses that don't happen every single month. Things like Christmas or travel, or expenses that don't happen every single month, but you know that they are coming. So in this account, you can keep basically a set amount. I like to keep $1,000, or you can just always add up what you know is coming up and make sure that you have that amount of money in there at all times. This way, if you get a flat tire or if anything else crazy comes up, you already have the money set aside in your account to cover those expenses. And the fourth account is long-term savings, and this is basically your emergency fund account. In this account, you are keeping a set amount of money that you have dedicated only to an identifiable emergency. Now, you have to decide what you consider a true emergency in your home. Me and my husband have discussed our 5 things that are only a true emergency. Other than that, we do not touch this account. So after you have completed step 1, and that's adding up all of your bills and you know how much you need, and step 2, and then setting up your 4 accounts, the third step is to do the 70-30 rule. Now, some people use the same system as a 60-40 rule, but I feel like 70-30 works the best for my current budgeting situation, and it's basically saying that 70% of your money goes to your bills, and the remaining 30% is divided into 3 10% brackets, and 10% goes to my church because we are tithers, 10% goes to savings, and the remaining 10% is free for us to spend on personal spending. Now, if these percentages don't work for you right away, it's completely understandable because you may have to save a little bit of money in your bill account to make sure that you are able to cover everything that you need to cover when it comes down to your monthly bill. But once you have at least a month of money in your bill account, then you can start to automate this entire process. So now every time that you get paid, you're basically replacing the money that has been spent in the previous week, and now you don't have to do or complete any type of monthly or weekly budget. This does take a little bit of discipline on your part because of course you can't mess with your percentages or overspend in any of the areas or move any money from your bill account to your personal account, or you could mess up this entire process. But if you are able to stick to these percentages and this process, then you can very well live a budget-free life. While I was super busy and out of town, this was the process that I completed in order to make sure that everything was still paid and I didn't have any issues with it. And I haven't budgeted for about 3 weeks. And although I missed the process because it's more about it's a fun process for me, I really do enjoy budgeting and I enjoy putting things into my planner and writing everything down. So I really do miss it and I don't plan on switching to this permanently. But I do think that it is a great option for anyone out there who do not like to budget and you don't want to write any of this down and you just want to have everything automated and done for you. So now I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a written example of how this could work for you. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's say you have income of $1,000 and we are looking at the 70-30 rule. Basically, $100 or 10% would go to giving. Now I do tithing because I do tithe to my church. However, this can be any charitable donation or anything that you decide on how you want to give back, or you could add more to savings or do something else with it. It's completely up to you. The next $100, 10%, will go to savings. And the next 100 would go to personal. So that would go to personal spending. The remaining 700 would be for your bills. So basically this 700 would go into the bill account. The savings I would divide up into 2 and put $50 into long-term savings and $50 into short-term savings. And then I would have $100 in my personal spending account. And then I would tithe or give the other 100. So that's basically how I do the 70-30 rule. Now you can divide it up even more. Sometimes I have done 5% into savings long-term and 5% into savings or into investing. It completely depends on how you want to divide these categories up, but this is basically how I complete my entire budget. Whenever I don't have time to come into my budget planner and make everything all pretty and write everything out, then this way I know that the money that is in my bill account can cover all of my bills, and I do have 1 month ahead in my bill account. Well guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope this one helped you. And if you know of anyone who hates the budgeting process, then make sure that you share this video with them. Until next time, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.